Well, I tell you what, Rick, it's my pleasure. It's always good to see a Jewell girl be successful, and Brittany's a great young lady, and it's got a great opportunity. She's going to be the Assistant Sports Information Director. And Brittany, a lot of people don't understand exactly what that is. Why don't you tell the people out there that are listening exactly what you're going to do?
Well, basically, I do a lot of the game prep for our home games, so I make sure that I've got the other team's roster and hey, take those off.
Yeah, you can take it. Just be comfortable and be you,
So
buddy.
then I have to get ready for the game. So we have to get the game set up in our computer, make the live stats set up. And I take a lot of the press releases off of Rick's hands. So, when track's away, I have to write a story about what track did and cover the home basketball games, a quick game recap, as well as sending the stats off to the conference and sending our rosters for away games and that sort of thing. So,
well, you're just like a coach or an athletic director or anybody else. People don't realize the hours that you put in. You were talking about, why don't you tell them a little bit about how your day goes, because you probably do a lot of your writing and that kind of stuff in preparation during the day. But, being a coach of my whole life and an athletic director, you also work all night. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well.
Social life's a little tough, isn't it, buddy?
Yes, well, I'm part-time, so my hours are kind of limited, but it gets difficult because, tonight I'll be here till 10, but then in the morning I'll have things with the conference that have to be done at certain times, and then, I'll find if tennis has something on Sunday in the middle of the afternoon, and, I've got to get something written up for that, or, so it's a lot of game prep and planning out my schedule to kind of really use my hours efficiently and make sure that I'm getting everything taken care of I'm supposed to be done. So it's every day is different, that's for sure. I can't say I work so many hours a day because it's all over the place.
Yeah, I think that's very true. I think in the job that you have, a lot of people say, well, I work, from 8 to 5. Mm-hmm. No way. If you're involved in college athletics or high school athletics, you work all the time in crazy hours. You kind of been prepping to do this for a while. Why don't you talk about how you got into the job as far as getting in here at Jewell, because you've kind of been messing along those lines and they finally gave you the job, right?
Yeah, well, I had taken stats for 4 years just strictly for basketball, and I traveled with the basketball teams and kind of did a lot of things on the road. So I think that kind of was the start of it. And I hung out with Coach Russell a lot last year taking care of this, and we kind of spitballed around some sort of a position like this because almost every other school in our conference has at least one other sports information director. They obviously have different budgets than what we do, and then I think with him being gone, and Rick does so much already, and he was taking over a lot of the duties that I'm coming and stepping and taking as far as communications with the conference, and they realized that they kind of had to have somebody in here, and so definitely prepped, and Rick and Coach Russell have really helped me out with what I've been doing, making sure I'm on my toes and getting everything done I'm supposed to be doing. So. Well,
you're making Rick's life a lot better. Let me tell you, now I got to work with him, and I'm a personal friend, so I don't want to listen to him. So I'm glad you're here,
Yeah.
But you know what? Rick will be a great resource for you. He's a great guy. You know that, and I know that.
Yeah.
And he loves William Jewell as much as you do. You know what I would really like? What's it mean to you to come back as a Williams Jewell graduate, and also knowing a lot of the girls on the team because you've been around, to you personally to come back here to William Jewell College?
It means a lot to me. I was pretty heartbroken to leave. Graduating this past May, it was kind of like this has been my home for 4 years. And, when I talked to Dr. Bailey about potentially coming back and working, and I said, this is my life for the last 4 years, coming to the Mabee Center every day, for practices and that sort of thing, and just kind of being around campus. And it's really where I grew up, I think. You mature a lot throughout high school, but college is really where you become who you are. And it happened here. Yeah. And so it means the world to me to come back. And, most of my friends are still on the team, and I love spending time with the girls. And, I'll come and watch their practices from time to time, and it's just kind of fun. If the clock's sitting around, I'll go sit at it and take score during practice like what I always did. And so it's really good to be back and being a part of it all.
Well, I think you're just part of the William Jewell family is what you're saying. And in a very, I remember when you were gone a little bit, I was wondering where you were at. Because, you used to bring the stats over and all kinds of things for us and help us out. And it's just really nice that you've got this position now. And, for a young person, the sky's the limit. Mm-hmm. Do you have, what's your aspirations for really what your goals down the road are?
It's unclear, honestly. I'm kind of trying to live each day at the time as I'm here, trying to
even do that when you're old like me,
right,
trust me.
And hopefully this will translate into something full-time. and I'm hoping that's what we're going to be leaning towards next year. I'd eventually love to get my master's, and I'd been thinking in business, and my mom had given me a call the other day and said, oh, what about something in sports information? And, so I think I'm kind of leaning towards that direction. I love marketing and advertising and that sort of thing, and I think I could really utilize those skills here.
Well, particularly because women's sports in college is just booming. And they're looking for talented young ladies like yourself that have the background that you have.
Right.
So really, when I said, the sky's the limit, I really believe that. And I think most females coming out right now kind of feel that way themselves, don't they? They have opportunity.
Yeah, I think so. Uh-huh.
And I think this will be a great opportunity for you. And, it's a great league to get started in. Networking, okay? You know all about that.
Yes.
you ought to be probably times 10 as far as the networking is concerned.
I want to ask you a question. I'll just jump in here. You were telling me you had an update on Coach Worstell. Would you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. I'm his friend on Facebook, and he had just posted that he had his doctor's appointment today, and his blood test levels came back in the okay range. And so I had texted him during the first half,
That's
and I said,
news.
hey, I saw the good news on Facebook, and he said he had a great day today, and so that made me feel good.
You bet.
So.
Those are the things that are really important in
Yeah.
life. The rest of this stuff's immaterial.
Yeah.
Rick, anything else you want to say about this up-and-coming star?
I'll tell you what,
we're talking to?
and I've told you this, and I've told you this privately, that you have lifted a heavy load off a lot of people, including me. And it's not that it's that heavy of a load, it's just that I guess we didn't realize how busy we were until you showed up and could help us out a little bit.
Well,
so thank you very much.
No problem. I'm glad to be
and
back.
we certainly want Coach Worstell back pretty quick,
Yes,
don't
we do. And that's what I told him today. I said, hey, if I'm going to be sticking around, I'm going to need your help with this stuff
Exactly.
I'm working on. So.
Well, really, you guys would be a great team.
Yes.
You guys could be a great team, and it is really good news to hear that for him and his family, and our
Yeah.
prayers could continue to go with him.
Yeah.
Well, Britt, you'll do a great job. Congratulations. I'm glad you got the opportunity. I know that we'll be working with you closely, and I know you'll do a great job here.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Brittany.
Yeah, no
Appreciate it.
problem.
Take care, kid.